What was this? So I'm back. Hopefully. Do I hold the camera closer to my face or further from my face? I think this feels natural, but you see so much of the background. But this is what happens when you use the action camera. So what I was saying was, yesterday I managed to go out to Bunnings. I couldn't find any of those joiners or taps or NPT fittings, so that's what I did. I just came up with it. Probably further down the track, I'll probably have to weld a little bead onto the end of the pipe of the joiner. That way it prevents the actual hose from slipping off. I grinded it all down purely just because I thought it'd leave a gap and it wasn't sealing properly, but that'll be something I address. I should probably address that soon. I'd probably do that now before I put it in, just in case. I don't think it's going to blow off any hoses or anything like that, but I should probably do it. Alright, I'll get the welder out and I'll do some little beads on it, and that way I'll seal the hose back on. Another thing was, I went to Bunnings to look for the wheels for the creeper, and they didn't have any in stock, so that's something that I'm gonna have to buy online. And today, what we're doing today, I've got the cookie and laptop there. I forget how far you guys are, you can't see it. I've got that today, so we're gonna ideally go out to Super Cheap Auto, or whoever may have the actual belt that we need. So we need roughly 1730 or 1735, somewhere in that vicinity. 1760 was way too big, so we'll do that. We'll get it all buttoned up, and hopefully I don't miss any steps along the way. All right, am I on or am I off? I'm trying to connect Bluetooth. Oh, there we go. I am on. So managed to get the belt, so I went with a 1735. But before I install it onto the car, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean all this, rip everything off and clean up all the belts and the pulleys and everything, just in case the oils and everything on the belts are causing the issue. Might as well clean the old one, which is super sticky, and test that one last time. So last time I cleaned it, it seemed to work. So means I have a spare belt. Alrighty, bucket of soap, belt off, and let's try to get it happening. So why am I exactly old belt? I'm just trying to, one, I don't want to spend the money. Well, not the fact that I don't want to spend the money, but if I could save money, then that'd be great. Second, if it's just oils, then it should be able to be cleaned. I'm convinced that I can fix this, or save it is more so the word that I'd use. So like I said, last time I went through and cleaned the belt, everything went according to plan, but after a while it started squeaking again. So I'll do the same to the pulleys. I'll scrub them all down, rinse them off, top up. I shouldn't top it up. Actually, I have to weld the inlet for the water pump. I'll do some beads, small little beads on that to stop the hose from popping off, and it should be good to show off my TIG welding skills, if you could call it that. So other than that, I think everything should be done, but we can't really move on to the next. Oh, I can feel it. It's so sticky and dirty. Is this supposed to be, are you supposed to hear a sound? My old power steering has it, but it's not that loud. Maybe it's failing. So what we're doing is just scrubbing away any excess oils that we could find on the car with some car soap and detergent. I may as well just clean up the engine bay as well, since I've got everything here. Anything that is with grooves is what we're cleaning. And it's beginning to rain, so maybe I need an industrial cleaner for all this. If you guys know any, let me know. I'll take off the clamp. I could have just pulled it off, but I don't want to damage the hose. It's not even a joiner. It's just a piece of stainless pipe that I had left laying around the house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld little beads onto it. And I previously had little beads on it to kind of just keep the silicone hose on. Where did I learn that? I learned that from a guy that made a custom intake for me, JVN. Unfortunately, he doesn't weld a lot for people anymore. I'd love for him to do some of my work, so if someone can share this to him and say, hey, you got someone that wants your jobs, some work from you, then hit him up. Because what I saw him do was he did little nipples on the side of these things. I'll show you. This is the cold air. So he welded this for me. And then if you can see at the very end, just like these little nipples. That is what I'll copy to stop the hoses from being pulled off or whatnot. So in theory, it should be able to get done. Alright guys, I'm not going to lie. I just took apart my... I'm not gonna lie, but I just took apart my TIG torch. And look how rusted it is. It's disgusting. But on top of that, check this out. I won't be using any gas or anything like that, but still. Wire. And I've been using a lot of my TIG wire just to make things that I need. So we'll use this. I haven't got any gas, so it's been a while. That counts as a bead. Yeah, my helmet's not working. Pretty sure my helmet's broken. So that was your first lesson into TIGging, but like I said, look at that. I ended up touching and it's disgusting. And technically I should have it clean and welded, but this will do. This will do. I forgot that I have to extend the... What is that? I have to extend the fan switch cable. So I'll be doing that now. Yellow and green. And I'm not going to bother soldering this. It's going to clamp it. Actually, just going to tie it and then heat shrink it. Because this one cable is too short. Takes like 7 seconds for it to connect the transmitter, but me being an idiot, I wired the old connector when I knew I should have wired the new connector. So I sleeved it and everything, and now I have to redo it again. Oh well, lesson learned. Write things down. So I finally repaired that plug. So the connector is okay right now. So you can see it right there, it's plugged in. So we're gonna fill up coolant. Old belt is on. It's still a little bit sticky on the pulley. I don't know if it's meant to be that sticky. See, this one's like smooth. So maybe degreaser, a WD-40 will get it off. It was belt dressing, anti-slip, super sticky. I guess that makes sense, anti-slip. So maybe it's meant to be like that. I'm gonna fill it up and then try to give it a start up, and then we'll see if it's fixed. I think I put some coolant in my mouth. Anyways, this is gonna be a long process. Waiting for all this to go inside the system. But the question is, why did I go blue coolant? Because I'm extra. I'm extra and I like making my life difficult. I never had this issue filling up coolant. I don't think so. Like I think a normal snorkel would be fine. Or just pouring it straight in. Alright, I think that's all of it. So let's give it a crack, right? So no more bubbles. Hopefully that belt. That's the old belt, by the way. Alrighty. Alright guys, let's have a look. I think that's okay. I'll run it for a bit because last time I thought everything was fixed and then boom, it started happening again. So hopefully I'll let that run for a bit. I'll report back if there's anything of interest. Fingers crossed. That way, after that we can start plugging in the ECU. This mic is beginning to annoy me now because when I turn on the camera, I have to wait like 7 seconds before this switches on, which is really annoying. But the belt made noises. So I got some WD-40 out and I ran that. But at the same time, what I think would be a good idea would be to see if the fan kicks on. So I'm gonna let the car heat up for a while and then hopefully it turns on. Otherwise I have to pull out the laptop and see what's going on. But at the same time as that, we're just waiting for it to bleed out. That's really annoying. Watch this. I'll just gradually go up. See that? So I was just holding my foot steady. So holding it steady now. So it seems it takes a while. After a while, it just holds steady, but let's go. So same thing. idea what that is, because the idle's fine right now, but on the gas, and it's just continuous. It's not the fact that the engine's heating up, so I'll wait for that to happen. Maybe it's because it's cold. We'll see. I'll just continue testing it. It's stalled. That's not good. The coolant's up where it should be. I'm noticing, I'm not too sure because the car's angled, but fuel seems to be going slightly down, or that could be in my head. And another thing is, my wiper doesn't work. It wants to. I don't know if you can see it move a little bit. So that's a problem that I'm gonna have to address, but this car's idle. So it's not me driving. So the problem's not me driving the car. It's the actual car. But I've already calibrated the TPS, so it shouldn't be up and down like that. Not consistently. So do I have a vacuum leak somewhere? I don't know. I've got to figure it out. But now it's just raining, so no more belt squeak thanks to the WD-40, but I think that's a temporary thing because it should come back. Probably will come back. I've got the spare belt, so that's ready to go whenever I have to do it. Other than that, the fan switch, I don't even know if the fan switch came on. I'll probably have to get the laptop out. So clearly, that's not a good thing. I tried. Yeah, so the throttle issue and the belt issue is still there. So I'm gonna have to take that off after I finish bleeding the system, and then I don't know. I'm beginning to think that maybe I just don't know how to work on cars. The top hose is warm. The cluster temp inside the car is warm, but the bottom radiator hose and the bottom radiator core is cold. So we still have air, lots of air, or the thermostat's not opening. I'm just gonna wait a little bit more and see what happens. Because also, if the thermostat doesn't open, then the fan will never turn on. So, yeah. And let's see what happens. See if the fan turns on. I don't know if the camera will stand there. Vibrations. So I'm gonna give TIG welding another shot because I think it's unfair because I didn't even clean the metals or wipe things down and I just went for it. So that's probably the reason why I wasn't getting a good arc. And I gotta fix my helmet because I don't think it was working all that well. Maybe the battery's dead, or maybe it needs changing, but man, that was bright. But oh well. So stay tuned. I'll show you guys that I can do some stuff okay. I'm not great, but not crap. Not crap. Probably crap, but not crap. So I like touching my head. Leave me alone. Basically, we have figured out that the throttle issue is most likely related to a bad throttle position sensor, a TPS. So we will be changing that, and at the same time as changing that, I think my friend was advising me to just update it to a newer, a better version where it takes away the actual hardware itself and it's just basically a sensor. So I'll be ordering that, and hopefully it comes on Monday or something. But everything else seems okay. I can't get the thermostat to open because I was googling it, and thermostats open roughly at 90 to 100 degrees. The car's only getting up to 85, so that's probably something I can't do at this point. So I think everything's, all in all, everything's fixed as much as it can be. So we're just waiting on the TPS, and then now we can figure it out. It's because I was going through the ECU and I was trying different base maps, just continuously trying different base maps, uploading it, and all the same issues. So it has to be related to a TPS issue and not a tuning issue, because if I change the base map, then the tune should actually change itself, so drivability should be better. But I think once we change that, we'll be able to move on to the next thing. And also I called CMS today just to confirm that my booking is scheduled in, and it is scheduled. So I'll be bringing my car in later on, and we'll be getting that sorted. So not your good news Friday, but it's progress.